We are living through one of the most significant shifts in human history. That is the global energy transition. And despite the geopolitical noise, despite the policy reversals, despite all the uncertainty, let me say this clearly. The energy transition is not dead. It has passed the point of no return. Here is why. When this journey began, climate change was the primary driver. Governments pushed wind and solar even when they cost more than conventional power, because the world demanded it. But something powerful has happened since then. The drivers have multiplied. Today, energy security, affordability, and national resilience are all pointing in the same direction, toward clean energy. Climate change started us off, but it is these forces that will carry the transition forward. The world is now dividing into two very clear camps. On one side, the Petrostates, nations rich in fossil fuels, including now the United States, which has leveraged shale gas to become one of the biggest advocates for fossil fuel expansion. On the other side, the Electrostates, countries like India and China, much of the European Union, Latin America, nations that do not have fossil fuel reserves, and must build their energy future from within their own borders, using clean energy. And here is what gives me real conviction. The Electrostates have technology on their side. Battery prices have fallen to a third of what they were just 18 months ago. Solar is now the cheapest form of new power generation in most parts of the world. Wind costs have dropped dramatically. 10 to 15 years from now, it will be clear. The Electrostates have won. Let me talk about India, because India sits at the very vanguard of this transition. Today, electricity accounts for just 20% of India's total energy consumption. The rest still comes from fossil fuels, costing the country $180 billion a year in imports alone. That is not a sustainable position for a growing economy. But the trajectory is extraordinary. By 2050, electricity should make up 40% of India's total energy use. By 2070, over 60%. And within that electricity system, 85% will come from renewables. Today, India has roughly 140 gigawatts of renewable capacity. By 2050, that number needs to reach 3,000 gigawatts. To put that in perspective, that is 2.5 times the entire power-generating capacity of the United States today. And India needs to build it in the next 25 years. That is not just a challenge, that is the single largest infrastructure investment opportunity in the world. And India is already moving fast. 2 years ago, the country was adding 18 gigawatts of renewable capacity every year. Last year, that number reached 25 to 30 gigawatts. In 2025, India hit 50 gigawatts. The scaling is real, and it is accelerating. But the opportunity goes well beyond utility-scale power. Think about data centers. The United States is constrained by a fragmented, underinvested grid. India, by contrast, has a single national grid and a vibrant domestic technology industry. As U.S. data center capacity hits its limits, that overflow will come to India. In many ways, exporting compute power is exporting energy, just as green hydrogen and green ammonia will be. And here is another dimension worth considering. 90% of the world's clean energy supply chain today sits in China. The world needs an alternative supplier. India is building exactly that. So when I look ahead at India and at this entire sector, I see one defining story. India is becoming a supplier of clean energy to the world, backward integrating into solar manufacturing, moving into green hydrogen, green ammonia, data centers, and emerging technologies including nuclear. Building to scale. The clean energy transition is the defining economic and strategic story of the next 50 years. The countries and the companies that move decisively today will be the ones that shape tomorrow. India is moving. The opportunity is here. And the future, without question, belongs to the Electrostates. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe India is ready to lead the global energy transition? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If this gave you a new perspective, give this video a like and share it with an investor, a colleague, a decision maker, because these conversations matter. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve on clean energy and global markets, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. Because we are just getting started.